Hello, hello. Welcome to my stream. Um, I'm trying to make myself look slightly realistic. Okay, looks better now. Okay, hello guys. Today we are at 108 mark. It means that we already had our 107 past streams. Yeah, some of them were in car, some of them were at home, some of them were on the cruise ship, so it were everywhere. Interestingly, that it were in United States West territories and in Alaska. So yeah, nice history of stream travels. Okay, um, we discuss in multiple topics, starting from word politics, propaganda, lies and truths, and some controversial theories, and going to fatherhood, husbandhood, and other topics around how to build relationship, how to live in your family with your kids, how to live your life as a person, a developer, and yeah, ending with some topics around software engineering, doing some practical exercises as well as discussing something. Normally I'm not like to write a very long and complicated code, but maybe we'll come up to that as well. I'm like to study and investigate some points where I'm not so proficient at, and because of it right now we are working on so even if I worked with some AI models before, now I'm just choosing something which is not part of my usual work and helping mostly me as a hobbyist or as um, person who tried to help some of my friends. It's a project around YouTube transcription and answering some questions about based on transcript, like what would be a cool description, what would be nice titles, what would be a good advertisement for that videos, and so on. And right now we are testing this on my streams, just to see if we could build a good description for my streams and do it execute it on some scale. So I have many streams which require proper descriptions and keywords and titles and everything, because it's just saying like the night talks part something and some basic description and basic keywords not relevant to each stream. So I'm trying to build some model which could do that for us. So about reflections, it's interesting. I'm thinking today again erased some movie which probably everyone from us know. Let me see how it would sound in English. Let me try to switch to some groundhog. okay, and if a transmission, it would be, you see, I'm looking for ground ground Groundhog Day, and it's very very cool movie, even if it's let's say that filmed more than 20 years ago, or maybe it's 30 years ago. Come on, 30 years ago. It's very beautiful movie. It could be like a nice reminder to all of us how we live our lives, because even if Groundhog Day is science fiction, or how they called fantasy romantic movie, but fantasy or science fiction, anything, maybe it's not science, yeah, it's not science fiction because it's just fiction or fantasy movie, where a person starts his day every every day over and over again, and he just decided after multiple tries to end it. He tries to just be a better man, better himself, and try to yeah not fall in love, but try to my English is not so beautiful. So yeah, he tried to so he want some girl to fall in love with him and he just want to do everything to be so he could have it. I mean, it's and of course the movie for me not just about love, but more about like we live our lives, because even in that movie every day for him is looking the same, exactly the same. So he get up, it's the same radio translation stream, I'm sorry, it is the same replicas from different heroes in that movie. So the people just look at him and say exactly the same things as they told to him yesterday and day before yesterday and so on. I even don't know how many days he lived in that movie, but yeah, so it's interesting to read about it. But yeah, I don't know how many days he lived in that movie, but surely it's so. Let me just return back. But actually, it reminds all our lives. Um, in our life, even if every day is completely different for us, I mean, at least on calendar, yes, but overall it would be the very similar day for us every day. So we try to complete some of our lessons and we try to complete it every day, and normally we also live in that reality, in the Groundhog Day reality. So we repeating everything over and over again, and so the movie ends or came to that final when he live uh, every like the day very good. So he is nice to everyone, but even not nice, not too nice. He just become a real him. So he don't want to play some very smart and very even smart picky guy or unfriendly, whatever. So he become himself, and he just help people, don't want anything in return, and just doing it, like living every day like it's his usual normal day. He do completely different things every day. Not completely. He start his day the same, but he learned to play piano, helped many people learn maybe some new professions, etc., etc. Mm, and when in our life, it's interesting that sometimes I'm ask myself, mm, if I leave it as that hero of that movie, uh, is I successfully uh, receive a good mark on my day, or not my day, but on some situation in my life, or I should again wake up and try to complete, try to pass these lessons again and again. And if I return to some situation in my life, or even through the day, how I talk to someone, or how I did, how I feel, and I think, okay, is it worth to be passed, or should get the same lesson again and again? And it's yeah, movie which completely uh, changed how. So when I looked that movie as a child, I I I looked something, and when I look it after 10 years, I see different story, maybe more about love. But when I looking at it now, I'm just see how person could live his his day, uh, go through some situation peacefully, not losing himself, and receiving like high mark from mm, from life, from his own during that. So it's just my reflection that if you haven't seen that film, please see, please watch, and take in the mind what is my reflection. So just see how well he changed, how well he lived his life in those reality, and it's actually would be very cool if we all could live our days like he start living his at the end. So I I liked that movie then, and I like it now even more. It become some checker movie and story for me in my life. So it was, I think, kind of genius movie, genius book on which it was written. If it's was written on the book, yeah, screenplay by him. So basically, it looks like there are no book. So yeah, story was much more notable than many movies I've seen in my life. It's a movie which you could, yeah, which you could um, watch multiple times, and every time you could find something new. And again, it's old, good movie, so of course I would recommend it. Okay, so what we have? We had our mostly 15 minutes of reflections time. Let me show you. I have a beautiful screen. So give me 1 second. And we are switching the, and even like I could do. So see, it's a very beautiful mountain on my screen right now. Yeah, I like the nature, the mountains, uh, and yeah, right now it's become part of part of my life, and yeah, I wish I travel more to see more mountains and or even the same mountain over and over again, because it's you couldn't you just always like admire it. I mean, it's always nice to see. So the miracles of nature, they never become old. It's something you want to see and see every day. So what we have with our code we started during previous stream. I'm sorry, it was a long day for me. So we end up in cleanup transcript, and we trying to prepare it, and we just need to remove all the without any additional details. Let's go and ask our ChatGPT or one preview, at least for his recommendation. Maybe let's ask ChatGPT for or. Hi, I have prompt to process and return SRT as a result, but it returns more like some message. Here is your test SRT or something similar. I want exactly SRT content as a result without any additional details from the model. Here is my code with prompt. Put your please command most recent and most working prompt change to achieve desired. So we are asking to improve our prompt. So the following SRT transcript was generated from our overlapping. Please remove any duplicate subtitles caused by overlap and provide only the cleanup, properly formatted SRT content. So system message, only the clean SRT content without any additional text, instruction, or explanation in system message. And in prompt, yes. And let's see if we don't lose so let's copy the code. Let's go to our Visual Studio. Let's insert it. The chunk size is 30 minutes long, so expect most work at 30 and so on. So we just instructed that we expect time of connecting about 30 minutes, 1 hour, and so on, and that's it. So now we could return and try to, okay, let's do another quick to do. So when we do our processing, basically convert like process transcribe chunk and transcribe file, we have that if chunk length is 1, we just skip it. Yes. So let's say if chunk let's ask, because I don't want to, Python is not the language which once you compile it's working fine. No, let's just ask ChatGPT for or. I have a code I don't want to clean up transcript if I don't have multiple chunks. Okay, I want to specify what I mean. So it's all we already have. Yeah, we could remove txt. So and here if len chunks more than 1, len chunks. Okay, so it's what we want to write here. And we just remove this one, and we could remove this one. Okay, now we have that code as well. Okay, let's try to execute our code for our long video. It's mostly 2 hours video, 2 hour long video. And first we try to create chunks. Let's remove previous transcripts at all. So we creating chunks. Right now we rewrote our code to use FFmpeg to do chunking of file, because we couldn't send the whole file to Whisper because of its limitations, and we end up in executing FFmpeg directly to see progress and to make sure we use it as fast as possible. So yeah, we completed with one part. Even if it executes, you see about 35 to 40 speed. Right now it's not at 35-40, but last time we saw that 35-40x speed means one for process 28 minutes, we need 1 minute of processing time. So anyway, it's taking time, it's taking few minutes, but we are fine with that. We could wait, and let's see how it would create our cleaned version of transcript. And if it could do that, we basically just can go and test it on completely new stream, on new file. And once it's complete and create all SRT version, we will run process prompts just to see how it processing current version of prompts we have in our generic profile. And if it's working fine, we just do another test with new video. And if it's working fine, we push our changes to GitHub, to our repo, so everyone could use it. And probably we'll start with a README file. Okay, we have first, second, third, and fourth. So fourth is the last one. Interesting why we have here just second seconds dot mp3, but here we have second seconds dot 0 dot mp3. Does it mean it could find some of those files exist somewhere here? I don't see it. Okay, so now we create separate transcription for each of that file, and once those files disappear, it means transcription requests are done. We send it to Whisper API, OpenAI API for Whisper model. Still there, so we're still waiting for response. Okay, we received response for all of them and immediately compile all of them into one file. So, and it's temp SRT, which consists of all combined transcripts up to 156. And now we executing the final cleaning up to receive clean version of transcript, because for those transcript every 30 minutes, let's say that it would be very nice. So about 30 minutes, we close 29, 29, 29, 34, 44, 58. You see 29, 55 to 30, 13 and 58. Let's call all types and call it description save. All types and call it description SRT save. No, save. So it's call it description. You see in it's multiple times, and that one is not properly formatted. We trying to resolve it. Okay, so looks like we completed successfully, and let's see how it looks like. So transcript SRT is, oh no, so we try to use AI to build properly our transcript, to build clean version of our transcript, but it doesn't work. I mean, so that function create clean version of transcript. Yeah, let's close this, maybe how to make bigger. Okay, Control plus. So if we will go and see clean up transcript, your assistant Troto2 full transcript SRT, and we send messages, and we send and full transcript SRT. So we use it from here, and full transcript it's something we compose and save into transcript temp. So we send all the content, but as a result we receive something bad. Maybe we could use playground and see actually if we could reproduce that behavior, because I don't know what's going on. But let's try to reproduce. So we go here, specify system instructions, and enter user message. That would be our user message 1, and then the whole transcript will go, and it's our of course transcript text is not very good because it's built from this file, not from this. So it's only 371 lines, and not 3000, yes, like in original big transcript. Yeah, about 4000 lines. Let's copy all of those here, go to our playground, insert, okay, looks good. Here, response format, text, maybe JSON object, temperature, let's use it 0 2, like we used. Maximum length would be, use 16,000, yes. I'm lazy to write 16,000, so let's it be 1636. Stop P. We don't specify, and everything else we also don't specify. GPT or latest, and let's click run. Let's go to the very end. Okay, let it be text. Run. So for some reason the model returns only 14 minutes, closer to 15 minutes. So it returned, yeah, 14:41. Let's see in our playground. in our playground, it returns more. Input 28,000 tokens, output 3,000 tokens. Let's ask, hi, I have a code max token is 16,000, but I get as response nearly 12,380. Characters while sending to process. Let's see how much we send in. About 79,000 characters. Why it returns such a small number? How to fix it? Okay, it's trying to say that we need to put in chunks, but the whole idea was to. So let's see what we have here. Maybe we could use different model. Let's see what the models we have. Let's go to docs, models, GPT-4o, context window, max output tokens. For all and for all latest is the same, correct? So it should work, and it's just output tokens. Context window is boss. It's boss. Yeah, O1 preview is bigger, of course, and mini allowed to output 65,000 tokens, which is pretty insane. So we could ask, how many characters in English roughly is tokens in model response? Let's see if we 65,000 tokens. But we receive, of course, not 16,000. We receive just 3 maximum lengths, temperature. Let's just try to see GTP for OR. And if we run it again, it will continue, you see. Oh, we choose the GPT for OR, and it's removed 16,000 of token lengths. But interesting, even now, you see, we have, yeah, output is 4. And it will continue. So basically we just click continue and it's continue to generate us a response. Interesting. Till 252. Two five five, not good. Just interesting. Let's see 255. Is it the same? Oh, 255. 255 is 5412. We looked at different things. 50. You know, it's doing not exactly what we asked it to do. Okay, so what we can do, we probably can see if it's possible to whisper the whole file, because okay, with whisper API it's not possible, but there are different whisper things like batch API, which probably it should be possible, because of course we could do more complex things. We could just take about like 15-30 seconds around that overlap, just to return us good prompts with proper time, properly combined, and execute that model just for those things. So we will send much less data, it would be much more clean, and then programmatically we'll combine again SRT into one, and it would be our clean version. The other thing we could do, we could just try to whisper the whole file as a one without calling whisper multiple times for multiple chunks. So it doesn't provide. So it looks like it's not as simple. Yes, let's see on the JAX. JAX code is compatible with CPU, GPU, TPU, standalone. Installation, it's local installation. Install, operate, okay. Pipeline usage. pipeline audio, text. Batch and signal audio file input across accelerator device. So let's see, putting all together. Okay, so there are options to execute it in Hugging Point, and probably we could pay for that to execute that model there. Model itself is free, but executing it on some scale in Hugging Face, would cost us something, and it will require a lot of setup, and results are not so well defined. Let's see what others comments we have on the forums. So yeah, they suggest to transcribe it not on 56k like we do in it right now, but like to 12k, for example. Now let's try execute that particular thing and see, maybe we could solve it in videos. And so let's see our 103, which is about 2 hours long, and we just need FFmpeg, and we just going to so we just execute this ffmpeg command in our mp3 file, and let's see how big would be the So it's idea which I also had, audio files, and then post-process the transcription through GPT-4 to remove redundancy and create a complete whole. So yeah, it's thing we try to solve very quickly. So basically dividing into chunks and then try to use ChatGPT to put it all back. Yeah, we need to make more smarter solution because the sizes are pretty big and we couldn't do that ourselves. Okay. So they are solving some issues with running FFmpeg, which is not the most interesting thing. Let's see. It's already processed 1 hour of video on bitrate about 12 kilobits per second, and output size would be just under 10. Maybe we could use this. We could use this and try to solve splitting unlimited depths, unlimited video lengths into next release, into full release, because I don't want to make the straightforward Python script too complicated. It's not a microservice architecture and it's not too complex. I think that solution we probably could take it. So a 2 hours video would be about 10 megabytes. So we support up to maybe a 5 hours video, correct? 5 hours video, it's pretty long. I think most of the streams, most of the video falls below 5 hours. And if we need more, then okay, we could split and join them, okay? So let's go and see that audio OGG file. So yeah, for 2 hours and for initial mp3 size of 47 megabytes, we received about 9 and something megabytes of audio file. So let's go to our audio file and let's try to do implement cleaning. Now let's let's do like that. Okay, we will not clean it, but in case we have 10 hours video, our full transcript, which would be combined, I mean, we still don't remove all the split chunks and everything. Okay. Let's go and ask ChatGPT to do the changes. It's something it could do. Okay, in function please change audio extraction to the next logic. So we will work with awk file format as a result. Okay, it just actually executes the program once we download it in for MP3. Let's not remove it. And how we build sanitized title. Okay, we already have it. Python. Let's just copy, download. Let's copy the definition. And we will not remove the initial mp3 file, just to see if 12K is too much, and too low, let's say that. Please make changes in the functions below. It's split file, and okay, it should be the same. Split audio file. And now it would return awk file, so it should be work good. So, and let's then copy that function split audio file, and that to divide them into files like files in awk format using something like 12K. But if we have bigger than 25 megabyte, let's say 24 and 8 megabyte, and divide it by 4 hours, I think, with overlap of 10 seconds. So we just want to think that we want it's 2. So it's slightly adjust. So here we use in audio bitrate split audio FMPEG. Let's see, split audio FMPEG like that. Audio bitrate, it would be 12K. Do we use audio bitrate elsewhere? No, it's just here. Get audio duration. I think it would be the same. And split audio file, we just have now more like 10 seconds and 24 hours and that number of megabytes. Basically it would be exactly the same, but with that change and that changes. Transcribe audio file, open API key. Okay, so looks like we are ready, correct? Let's go here. Let's now remove that folder at all. We couldn't remove it because we're here. Try again. Nice. So, and let's try to download it once again. For that, I copied that stream and we have Python download. It's so let's okay. We need to go one level up. Download. So let's see if we could download now, and it would be downloading very fast. Then we extract from WebM MP3 file. Maybe we could do much faster, just not extracting MP3 file, but leaving WebM and then just transcribing it, not converting it to OGG 12K. Yes. So that file maybe let's just interrupt that and do that sync. In this function we do not effective step. We download YouTube audio, then convert it to MP3 and then to OGG. Let's function to skip mp3 conversion and immediately convert to awk. Let's keep original webm file as well. Let's try to convert that function. So download YouTube video. Title video sanitize video folder, make dirs, best audio, download original audio path. Okay, and then we just convert into web, so it should do the work faster. Let's go to Visual Studio. Let's go here and replace it with that implementation and see how it will work. Download. So download itself should be pretty fast. Okay, it's already been downloaded. It means that we already created that thing, and we have mp3. Let's remove mp3, we don't need it, it's just left. And we okay, now let's look at our code when we try to transcribe audio file. Join list ends with awk, no awk files found in the folder. Ogg. Speed is just 30. Not fast. On good computer it should be like 80, I believe. Much faster, because that computer is not fast enough for sure. And transcribe should work well with the folder, and once we can find the awk file here, we run transcribe audio file, split audio file, because it would be less than 24.8 megabytes. We just return it, and yeah, that thing we also don't need. Txt transcribe chunk. We don't need plain text. Let's don't change the signature, but yeah, and we will remove that and that. And we will build text file as extract text from srt, clean this srt. And we still need to think about clean up in the things, but not now. Not now. Okay, hi Gagan Deep. I'm sorry if I'm not name you properly. Right now we are doing some scripts. We are improving our scripts, which could download any video from YouTube mostly it's done for my videos or video of my friends. It could download it, transcribe, and run multiple prompts to build some things like video sections, video chapters, description, keywords, title recommendation, maybe even image generation recommendation, so on. And it supports multiple profiles, so you could choose which profile you want to use while you're downloading it. Basically just to automate the things around video processing. And why we want also transcript, because YouTube doing awfully if it's not English and not well-known language. For example, for my native languages like Russian, Ukrainian, it's not do very well. It's sometimes mixing that languages, even if you specify YouTube, and it's not doing well. Whisper doing just great. It's maybe one of the most interesting model which transcribes the text. And yeah, we try to install Whisper locally and execute it locally, but it's just executes too long on my computer. So we right now using it with API, but we have streams where we try to do it locally. Okay, so your sound quality is low. Interesting. So I have my microphone here. Let me see if it's USB audio output. 1 1 1 1. I'm not sure. Let me unmute myself on the phone, so I could see if I'm audible at all or not. 1 1. Okay. I'm not sure. I could hear myself. Maybe before it wasn't so good, but looks like now I'm switched my audio device, so it should be better. Interesting. I'm sorry. Let me try once again. Now, how it's about now? Because I try to use this microphone. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not. Let me try once again. Now, how it's about now? Because I try to use this microphone. I'm sorry. So. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not. Okay. Looks like now it should be better. So, and we try to work around multiple issues we had, especially with very long streams. Right now we decide to use some workaround and use audio of very low quality, which should be good for transcribing, like 12K for audio, and in OGG format, which should be very sufficient. And now we just trying to execute all the steps, but like one by one. And now we just want to transcribe it. Yeah, I could send you a link to where it's working fine. So we have that GitHub. It's Whisper, it's not mine. That is mine. We have here, it's checked in two versions of the program, like local YouTube AI helper, which is just bat file. You need to do some prerequisites. You need to install YouTube DLP to download everything from YouTube, Whisper to install it locally, and basically that's it. that it Whisper and YouTube DLP, and of course you should have Python. It has README file which has everything you need to install, and also some websites from where you could install, for example, for Python, for FFmpeg, and for YouTube, like where you could install Git, for example. If you already done all of those, it should be fine. So once you could execute all of those, you even can run your just batch file. You need to create configuration like that. We have one sample configuration here, which called generic title keyword description configuration, and it has some prompts like to generate title, to generate keywords, and to generate descriptions. And we have some prompt, but you need to generate your API key in OpenAI just to try it end to end. We probably also should have some like some simple instruction how to generate it, but probably you need to learn more. So yeah, and you could use it, and I could send you a link to that repository. You could look at it and try to use if you are interested in that program. Let me find my stream link. Yeah, should be something like that. And here we send in audio to transcribe and see if it will transcribe it successfully or not. So once it's transcribed, it doesn't exist now. No. So once it's transcribed, it should create some file here, which will have SRT extension, and we will create later TXT and LLM SRT, which will send to our prompts when our prompts require our transcript with time component, like for build video chapters. And I'll try to execute all the steps right now with my current implementation. That thing is still working, even what we have in our repo right now. Of course, there are some changes here. We do some improvement to that program, so there are some new lines here and there. But previous version also is working, especially if your video is not too long. This version should work even with my long streams, so that is the main reason why we do all the changes. So let's see, we're still waiting response from Whisper model. Okay, now we have a response from Whisper. Let's see how it looks like. We have our SRT, which is classical transcript format, subtitles transcript format, and it would be pretty huge. It's for about 2 hours stream, and it's about 108,000 characters here. It's even more than we had before. It should be pretty precise, and we built also text version of that same transcript just to save some tokens. Oh, we see that it has some dreaming. Basically, it's not so cool as it could be. Let's see why it going on from to topic. also 2, 4, 6, 2, 2. Maybe I said something like that. I don't, yeah, maybe I said something like that. But I think its model is dreaming. Good thing that it's not so hugely long. Maybe it heard something, I don't know, something it couldn't transcribe. It happened for about 433 to 453, about 20 seconds, even more. And we built also transcript LM-str, which we sent to the actual model. It's simplified version of SRT transcript. Good thing, we always could rerun the model if we completely don't like it. It's one of the ability, because we're working with LLMs, and LLMs are not always just working nicely and good. So, and let's see, let's try our final step, which would be just with the same folder, but we don't want to retranscribe it, but we want to process prompts. Right now we need to write it as command line command. Sometimes we will improve that program. Even now, if you run it without any parameters, it will provide us help string with all the possible command options. Okay, we processed everything and we generated results of our prompts. So we have some title recommendations for that stream. It's about 10 to 15 titles: Unlocking a Future, Deep Thoughts on Coding, Life and Role of AI. Okay, yeah, it's about what we speak before. We did some coding exercise. What else? We have keywords, which will look very similar. So whisper transcription, LLM prompts, so everything we work with looks good. We have description. Description also include, so it's all about what's going on that stream, and there are some key highlights, which are video sections, some of keywords. So basically description of this video good for YouTube, but just because that is not exactly cool, we asked to build better chapters to replace it with it. Let's see if better chapters is really better. Actually, they're not too much better, because in transcript we for sure provide much more things than 44 minutes. We provided it for 1 hour 56. I don't like those actually. So let's do some quick test now of if everything is working. Let's do some test maybe on some audio. Let's use not the very long stream, but one of my stream maybe for maybe 105. It's just 40 minutes, 45 minutes, 40 minutes. It's probably without code exercises. So let's just try to see. We use Python AI helper, and what we'll do, what it would be, full process, no, not download, full process, correct? Let's see, it should say some issues. Okay, yeah, full process is fine, and we just need to provide URL, and it will try to do everything in one go. So download that file, which is done, convert it into OGG file format, which is maybe if OGG and 12K is too low, maybe we could improve it like maybe to 20. It still would be sufficient for long streams like 2 hours or so, or maybe 24, for example, kilobits. It should be nice. I see that it's transcribed a lot of the stream, very cool. So I don't think 12 kilobits actually is the issue. We could investigate it maybe tomorrow and see if we see those issues coming over and over again. We could see if it's in even if that OGG file, if it's audible good enough or not for us, for humans to read it. If it's not, we change the properties. If it's good, probably it's just some not successful execution of Whisper model. So we'll see how it could be improved. But I not always see that bad quality. So maybe we're just not lucky enough and saw that bad quality, or maybe just OGG format and not good quality of the stream of OGG. And we still need to go and improve our splitting, combining back, and all of this work to just make it good one. Maybe Whisper not good with 2 hours video transcription in one go or something. Who knows? Also, we probably could try some Whisper parameters. We talked about it, and right now in our profile which we are using, we use generic configuration. We have Whisper config, and we just have only language N, and basically that's it. But Whisper could have much more configuration. We could pass it. And now we processing prompts. So let's go up. It would be video folder, the Night Talks part 105. We just specified that URL, and it's did everything. It's downloaded audio in a good format, WebM format, which is best quality with 33 megabytes of the data. It's transformed to OGG file format with just 3 megabytes. It's created transcript, TXT, transcript, SRT. Let's look what we send to model sometimes, LM SRT. And if you need maybe 3 times energy, if you look from 3 and you look maybe from 5, you maybe need to require 5 times energy, but okay. Looks still good. Looks still good. Okay, it was some talks about war and everything. and I see it's okay. It looks like okay. And let's see, let's try to preview that. Preview. So in transcript, okay, let's open here. In transcript we have videos for 40 minutes video. So let's see better chapters. They are good. They are from 0 to 40 and it's very relevant. I see, I even remember that stream. Description overall is also pretty cool. It has some title recommendation, it has some provoking episode journey about different things of artificial intelligence, of war and everything, and it's also good create all that things like takeaways, join discussions, etc., and create pretty cool timestamps even without better chapters. Keywords of course good, and titles of course good. So overall it did pretty well on my 105 video. Maybe we could do another test on some other big video and see if it was just a mistake, one mistake, or it's something wrong with large videos. But I like what it has done with 105. I really like it. So we could even go and okay, it's not the same stream, sorry. I mean, it's not the same user. I couldn't update it here. Okay, and how looks good stream? Let me see current place in my stream, and I do like this. Okay, looks like we are live, and let me double check sound. Okay, it's about 29. This romantic developer, and how it looks like. Okay, looks very similar. And chapters are not generated here, and of course we have very default descriptions. Of course that description we generated here much better. Let's see it in Notepad. Timestamps, key takeaways, join the discussion. Okay, so looks much better, at least for my long streams, and it should work for multiple others. And you see we have everything we need in one folder, and we have ability to rerun every step, like transcription step or prompt step, and if we run prompt steps over and over, it will just create prompts with some index, so it will not overwrite already generated prompts, and will just add more. So we could then choose what we like more. Okay, so let's test it tomorrow, and if everything will work fine, I will commit my changes. So far you could see the code version at that URL, it's in chat. It's very similar to what we have right now in that Python string, in Python folder. So that is our basically code, which is in one Python script, and it has all current functionality. We just slightly improve it. So if we confirm it's working fine, we replace it with our current functionality. Okay, we started with Groundhog Day movie. Let's finish it with the same movie. it movie was about um, a person who have ability to fix his day over and over again, and I don't know how many hundreds of days he needs to come to his true self. Basically, I'm always think what makes him uh, the man he was at the end of the movie. And basically, it was the same man. He just stopped, uh, think he is like more wise than other, not wise, more clever than other. He stopped be angry on the people. He just start living to himself, and it's what helped him to come through that lesson of life. And now, I'm just talking that normally I now also trying to check what is was that life lesson for me, how I would do it that lesson, some situation through the day. I return, and when I think, okay, I did it not perfectly, and I think, okay, if I got into that movie, into that day which starts over and over, how I would do that situation, and think, okay, should I leave that lesson one again, or I did perfectly fine. So that movie helped me, and actually I like to watch it. And yeah, just remembering that movie today, I think, okay, it's maybe a good time to rewatch it again and become even more wise person than before. So I recommend you to watch that movie and to watch that movie from that perspective I shared with you today. As always, wish you a good day, good time. Hopefully everything will be good with your health, with your family, and you will be happy with yourself, cozy with yourself, and will have power not only create something but give some of your warmth and love to your loved ones. I will be stream here for another at least 40 days. Every day I start from 10 p.m. PST to 11 p.m. PST. I update stream time, so it shows more or less relevant time. And yeah, I stream every day at that time period. I would be really glad if you leave me any comment. It could be anything, just smile or some question, or just share some of your story or some of your inspiration or some good movie you like to watch. So yeah, it would help me and inspire me. And so far, yeah, see you tomorrow or whenever you are ready. I will be here, as I said, for another month and something.